What's good, everybody? This is Black. This is the Locker Room Talk. You know, it's a podcast that me and one of my great friends started up. I'm gonna let him introduce himself in a minute. But, you know, this podcast is all about everything, you know. No topic is safe. Nothing safe, you know. Whatever comes out my mouth or his mouth or our guest's mouth, it is what it is. No holdbacks, you know. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Go ahead, man.
Yo, this is Miami Nights. You know, we definitely want to take an interesting take on things. It's the podcast about nothing, really, but we calling it the Locker Room Talk. Basically, the LRT, the real TRL. Call it what you want, but we're bringing it to you raw. And basically, a little bit about myself. I think my radio personality, if you will, might be, you know, bringing in the intrinsic value of interacting with people. And I think I have a lot to say about that. How about yourself, Mr. Black?
Yeah, me, I'm more of a social media dude. You know, I'm trying to lift people through social media. But, you know, we got a bunch of interesting stuff that we're going to talk about. You know, this is only the first episode. We have a guest here today, too, which, you know, it's going to be crazy.
Might be a little more raw and uncut.
Yeah, it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy today.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is our first one. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. But we do have a guest here. He goes by the name of Rosewood. Check him out.
Peace. This is Rosewood. In my own podcast, I call the Truth to Power podcast. I go by Ghost God. But it's my pleasure to be on Locker Room Talk with these two brothers. We're gonna talk about a lot of different subjects. We're gonna get a man's point of view on different topics, and then we hope you enjoy the show from right now. So, what is your first subject? What do you guys got going on?
Oh yeah, so our first subject is you know, it's 2017. We're a bunch of millennials now, and we're talking about the subject of millennial dating.
First of all, what is a millennial though?
Isn't that a person born after
2019? I think it's after 1982.
I was born in 81. I'm 35. Right.
Oh, so you made the cut. So you can give an interesting take on both sides of the field, because you grew up into the millennial era. And shortly before that, interestingly enough, I think it cut off might be in the 90s, somewhere in the 90s, really? Maybe 95.
I didn't know the rules of what millennials were. I just knew they were a group of people I kind of thought non-traditional. That's what I kind of thought that meant.
Well, for me, what millennials mean is no commitment.
Yeah, to be honest,
like live now, don't worry about the consequences.
Don't commit.
Yeah, we don't commit to shit, pretty much.
Yeah, as far as relationships.
Well,
I mean, we will bring up relationships.
As far as relationships, I'm saying though, like,
it's a hot button.
Me, I really don't commit to nothing. You know, I try, but it's kind of hard to commit now. You know, it is. I don't know how it is. It was back, you know, with you guys, but me, you know, I see a female. Yeah, we're talking. You were good. Then so I just fall off. I fall back. You know, something that I don't like that I see. I'm like, man. You know, what is this? You know,
what is the core reason for that? Is it fear? Is it just too many options? You just want to be free. You just love a plethora of women. If you have an appetite for women, that's natural. You're a man. You're a warm-blooded man. You should be able to feel until you decide that you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? But
true.
Me personally, I don't feel like I'm gonna change anytime soon. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I guess my problem is I get scared to commit because when I see something else that I like, I'm like, because I'm young, you know, I'm going to go after it, like, God.
Right.
You know, I'm like, damn, I'm missing out on something, which I think a lot of people my age do the same thing. Yo, we're missing out being with this one person. But, I mean, some people get it, some people don't, you know. Me, on the other hand, like, I have an appetite for women. I want to talk to a woman, you know. If I see her, because I'm young.
You know what that means. I don't really understand where my favorite word in this is accountability. I'm not hearing any accountability, what you're saying. I'm not saying, first of all, we shouldn't be interviewing you from that aspect because I don't want to put you in the hot seat.
No, that's cool.
We all on the hot seat. But if you really think about this, if we really want to keep this raw, I don't think there's anything sacred anymore in millennial dating.
That's a fact.
I don't know so much if it's a fact. I want to say it's a fact.
The sanctity of relationships now? I mean...
Nothing's sacred.
Because, I mean...
Is anything sacred?
The importance on family is based upon where you stand in your family that raised you. but no one places that same value on starting their own. I mean, like you said, it goes back to, I guess at this point in history, I mean, the world is moving so fast, it's smaller, people have access to more people. I mean, we would have to change. I mean, monogamy at this point is almost to the point, it's almost hard to maintain.
Yeah, you're right.
I agree. It's just, here's the thing. I don't want to put labels on millennials, and I don't think millennials like labels in the first place. Your homegirl said that.
Tommy Lauren, but that's the label
favorite.
though. But she said it though. It is what it is.
But then she labeled herself and then
yeah. She
Well, we'll touch on that. That's a whole other animal we're going to touch base on. But we're talking about millennial dating. All right. In my opinion, I think beneath it all is a woman. I think Shakespeare said that best. Quote me on that, I guess, if I'm wrong. But if a woman is too sure of you, if she thinks she can walk all over you, her attraction level drops.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
I mean, because that's not the masculine energy. The female energy is to be dominated in a sense. I know that's a strong word, but it doesn't mean that the masculine energy is supposed to lead. That's how society is created. Men created the world we live in.
Yeah, but that's not what millennial pop culture is telling me. All I'm saying is if I'm growing up, see, I grew up in an interesting type of family. I wouldn't say I grew up in the typical Western type of family. Obviously, I wasn't born here, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
I wasn't born here either.
Well, here's the point. I feel like, based on how I was raised, that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I believe you, man, because I don't tell anything.
But you don't have to believe me. I bet you a lot of women might not agree with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm mysterious. I don't tell female anything about myself, to be honest. And I guess their attraction level, they goes up. They're like, oh, yeah, I want to talk to you more. I want to talk to you more. But then, at the same time, it's women that's like me, too.
Yeah? All right, now, let me tell you something.
Well, they're taking a masculine role, I suppose, right?
But women have been kind of designed that way, too. But let's check this out, though. This is what someone I heard say. He's like, you know that feeling you get when you with a girl and you bust your nut? You know that feeling you have? How would you describe that feeling? Like, what is it?
I call it
It's like the closest thing to being in heaven, to be honest.
I mean, but what is the feeling you have after?
I think it's a connection. I'm going to say it.
No. I'm talking about
it's a connection.
After?
It's after the release. What do you feel? Satisfaction?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like a sense of
Fulfilled?
ownership.
I'm still satisfied, but
I
then,
feel like at some point I did something to you that I don't expect any other man to do.
I mean,
Maybe that's just me being, maybe that's some level of arrogance on my part.
me being wild and young, if I just met the chick, and I don't really know too much about her, I'm like, I got this nut, leave. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm happy, but you got to go.
All right, now that now check this out. That same dynamic that you just expressed, that's the same feeling a woman gets when you commit to her 100%.
Oh, maybe
Her
I
job
wasn't
is done.
clear on that. Yeah, maybe I wasn't clear.
She's
Her job
fulfilled.
is done.
The task has been fulfilled. Mission accomplished.
True.
Yeah,
But as long you got to always keep her reaching for something. You know what I mean? You got to keep her reaching for something at the end of the day. Because once you make the commitment, the clock starts ticking. Once you say that you're the only one, you have that one nightish, you're the only one I want, I don't want anybody else, that's when the clock starts ticking. That's why when men, they get married, they say they get married to their woman, they start to fall off, they don't get dressed, they get comfortable, they're not doing the things they used to do.
that's part of the problem, though.
That's the problem.
That's part of the vicious cycle.
That's the ideology women have taken at this point.
But then women are stepping up, and I'm noticing that a lot of times they leave these men and look for men who can actually think about what it means to be in a relationship, like actively romanticize these women. Because I personally feel like women read these books, these 50 Shades of Grey, these excess books of romance. Boy meets girl, girl doesn't understand boy. When she finally does, they live happily ever after. I think the dynamic of that plays a big role in how women think on an emotional level before they go into a logical aspect of thinking. Truth be told, I think most women want to be swept off their feet. They want to meet a guy that knows how to have fun, in my opinion. But I think it's worked out for me. I choose at the same time what I want. I'm going to move to the beat of my own drum. I'm going to lead the way. But if she doesn't want to come with me, that's her problem. She's going to get left behind. Is that aggressive? Not so much. It's just me taking the lead on what I want in my life. And if she just so happens to want to be part of that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I think nowadays this average woman isn't satisfied with being swept off their feet by one guy.
Hell no.
They want to get swept off their feet multiple times. Now, if you
Wow, what's good for the goose, huh?
yeah, now I'm saying, but think about it like this. Think about it like this, brother, right? The excitement of a new person is always going to be something that these women are going to pursue, because now more than ever they have access to a new person whenever they want, and women are the pursued.
Can we say it's the same for men too?
Well, but
We're talking about millennial dating now.
I'm talking about the fact that men have to be a certain type of way to be that way. You can't just be any old dude and just be racking up females.
I think
you have to be a certain character,
Right.
a certain level of, coolness to you, charisma.
True.
You gotta have your shit together, even though there's women that fuck with homeless dudes and bums that sleep on the couch. But to be a real player type dude, like a high level cat, these is fresh dudes. These is good looking men. These are charismatic, well to do brothers, and of all races.
Yeah.
So, but what does a woman have to do to get her itch scratched?
Take a picture
Go
on
outside?
Instagram.
Go to the grocery store and approach a man. Hey, let's go out for drinks. Okay, let's go back to my place. Okay, game over. A man, you have to play that perfectly. And even if you do play it perfectly, you still, because being a pursuer, there's always a chance of you being shut down. The woman is the pursued. She's a guaranteed win.
I don't know too many men that have it all well with women that chase as much as this generation does.
Nah,
even though I'm part of this generation.
Thirst is real.
Yeah, the thirst is real. I mean, because me seeing this shit, like the thirst trap stuff, like women do that. They take these pictures and they're like, yeah, I'm going to get all these dudes to like it. But they know they can get any dude they want. They play this game. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we be pursuing them, but they play this game and they put themselves on a pedestal. And now that, like, in this day and age, fuck that pedestal, I'll kick you off of it. I'll tell you ain't shit in a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
But I really believe that women are the chasers deep down. Mm-hmm. Now, if a man can play it to where the woman is pursuing him, the ball's in your court.
True.
You understand? And that's because you keep her reaching for something. You hold yourself at such a high regard because at the end of the day, the man is the prize. Yeah. What we talked about earlier, the biology of a man is the prize. Because a man's in value of what he can do on a biological level, it's a window that's way bigger than a woman's. You have the value.
We do.
You understand? They tell you that women are the givers of life. No, women give birth. Men give life. You understand? Because inside you is living life in your nuts right now. In a woman, without your addition to her organs, it's nothing. It bleeds once a month. It's nothing going on there unless you put it there. They're like an empty flower plot with just dirt. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Now,
your seed is the life. So you have the value. But we live in a gynocentric world where it's been flipped to where men don't hold themselves to the value and women are the ones above men. But if you really break it down and think about it, like I said, men have created society. The reason these women can get up and turn on the light switch is because of men. The reason that their computer works, the reason that they have clothes on their back, the textiles, you can all trace all of this back to men. Men created a comfortable setting for women to live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of our love for them. But at the end of the day, I think in this current stage, women kind of forgot to value that.
Yeah.
They forgot to really feel as if that's something you might want. Because I was talking to this cat, and he said, a good brother, right? A good man, a decent man, a builder, a creator, a thinker, introspective man, that's basically the closest thing to God walking. Because you are in the image of God walking physically. You understand? So at the end of the day, that in itself, even if you want to go scripturally, man, God created man in his image, then created woman from man.
But let me tell you something. women these days don't care about that shit. They like the bad boys. They like the drug dealers.
Yeah,
the
who loses? You say that, but I think
loses in the end?
we're losing.
They losing it.
So, but wait, I think we're going off on a tangent. We're still talking about millennial dating, and aside from the religious aspect and or the spiritual aspect of making that connection with man and woman, I think we should focus on some of the issues with millennial dating. One of which I'd like Mr. Rosewood to chime in on, as well as you, Mr. Black. Let's take it all in perspective.
Okay.
Man charged with rape after taking condom off without telling the woman during sex. How do you gentlemen feel about that? Let's start with you, Mr. Rosewood. That is some shit. Man charged with rape, I repeat,
All right.
after taking condom off without telling the woman.
All right. So that right there.
I will go into the facts, but this is...
Let me just go off the broad statement of that case, right? Now, there's a lot of cases where men are unjustly, when it comes to women and men relations, men always
This is millennial dating.
the shit on the stick, right? Now, think about how the laws in the courts are set up. He takes the condom off, he gets charged with rape. If it's consensual sex, but if we talking about all this rape culture shit now, so when do the lines get blurred?
No, rape is an issue. Rape is an issue. Rape is rape.
But taking off the condom is not rape too?
Well, this is not the Western world, gentlemen.
Where's
This is
this
actually in Europe, Switzerland.
Okay.
Well, Switzerland...
That shouldn't change
but
anything
Switzerland,
in general with
Switzerland is one of the most gynocentric countries in the world.
That's interesting. A very neutral one at that in terms of their government.
Hardcore.
Yes. Historically, Switzerland.
Definitely one of them.
Yeah. So,
It's almost worse than here.
Was it his
but
girlfriend?
if you not necessarily, let's not even get into all that. This is millennial dating, whether it's in the western side of the world and the eastern side of the
Well, if it's
world.
millennial dating, let's not even bring up the rape thing. This is what I'm gonna say.
But that's interesting that you said that.
I mean,
because you have to remember, a partner is a partner. There's so many damn different titles these days. This is millennial. This is the millennial dating field we're playing in.
But it is
Batter up, gentlemen. Batter up.
flooded with double standards.
It's
Oh,
hella
but wait. Let's
Okay, let me
talk
tell
about
you-
the real issue.
Let me
here.
tell you one story.
Rape is rape.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Okay, so
Nobody's-
there's this 40-year-old woman who just got sentenced to 2 years probation
Now this
for
is
sleeping with her son's 13-year-old friend. This is a 13-year-old boy. This woman's 40 years old. You understand? She got 2 years probation.
interesting.
You understand? Now think about if that was flipped.
Well, gentlemen, if you ever go stealth on a woman, right?
Stealth? That's a word.
That's still.
I just made that up.
He just-
That's basically taking off the condom without telling her. Let's not get into all that.
Wait,
you know,
to get her
Miami Nights.
Nah.
Check into my IG. You'll see more of this interesting shit. The point is, this gentleman went stealth.
Okay.
All right.
I like
So,
that word. Don't use that.
Don't do it though.
but the perpetrator is now being accused of rape. This could go either way in court. The point is, it's often bragged about. Is there an issue that let's take it up on both sides? This is algebra.
Okay.
What goes on one side must go on the other, right?
It's brag that you
Logically.
raw dog.
So you don't think we as men brag about shit like this?
What, raw dogging?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't.
I don't brag about that shit.
You don't brag about that. I have a policy. I don't like to kiss and tell. If a
Yeah.
woman asks me about my previous relationships, this is usually how I go about it. I don't believe in kissing and telling. Because
I don't even.
we'll go into that in another topic. But the point is, there are men who brag about these instances. And obviously, this young woman who encountered this gentleman, obviously in a sexual way, is now finding out that she could take charge. Is there an inherent issue on both sides? Let's equate this on both sides.
Okay.
All right. I like to balance things out.
Present the question.
The question is, does she have a case? Number one. Number two, does the gentleman, the perpetrator, going stealth here, is there?
That word is funny.
I know. You're a very sensitive man, Mr. Black. But the point is, the man that went stealth here, the perpetrator, as I stated, should he have some level of accountability for his actions here?
All right.
Should he just fess up and just take the L, so to speak?
From my point of view, I'm asking number one.
Okay.
She could have a case because if he has an STD or some type of AIDS or HIV, you know, that's pretty much premeditated murder. That is.
Mr. Rosewood?
Good point. Does he have a case? Now,
Does she have a case?
does she have a case? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because I feel like if it was consensual, consent is consent. As much as they're going off at the top about what's consensual and what's non-consensual. Non-consensual approaching of a woman now is a thing. You know, talking to a woman that doesn't want to be spoken to can be considered harassment.
That is
You
some
understand?
level
Or
of sexual
catcalling,
harassment. But there's different parties of sexual harassment.
but
to be
talking,
clear. Right.
that's like you saying, what's up, gorgeous, how you doing, right? And she don't like you.
What the fuck, nigga? Why you saying
That's
that
a
shit,
problem.
man?
But if you fucking Idris Elba and you say the same shit, it's all good.
Panties coming off.
You see what I'm saying? The
That's-
double standard.
that's
I'm just, if she's
that's
all
relative.
right, if
That's
she's
understandable,
attracted to you,
but it's relative.
But
Right.
yeah,
Laws of attraction are real.
right.
Like
now,
attracts like.
now should this man
Does it
face
not?
jail time for that? No,
You don't
because there are men that really rape women, and this man's going to have that one.
So, in the
record
same
for the rest of his
token,
life.
do you think a man should face jail time who's going around spreading the gift that keeps on giving?
Hell yeah.
Of AIDS,
Yeah, but what about-
HIV.
there's women that do it too that don't go to jail.
But you go to jail.
No,
for
but we're
that.
not talking. It's a
no
double
one-
stand. We're not talking about double standards. We're talking about wrong is wrong. Correct?
Yeah.
Is it?
All right.
Are we black and white on that?
We are.
There's no gray matter.
There's no gray
I
matter.
love that. I love that.
Hey,
gray
so-
matter. The murky gray. Let's try
This
to
is a-
let's try to uncover the murky gray.
All right,
This
so
is a
let's
sensitive
stay
topic.
right on in the crosshairs.
Thank you.
All right, so does this man deserve to sit through, have a case on him? I don't think so, bro.
I mean, yeah, I believe you on that. But if he had a disease, yes. But
So
if
what
not-
is-
if
are we
not-
talking about? Whether the if or whether or not the love contract in this
Well,
case
yeah,
involved him making sure he had some form of prophylactic.
Yeah, he put it on. And I mean, he stuffed her. You know what I'm saying? He's
And went
yo,
stuff, yes.
I
Yeah.
can't feel nothing. You know, I went stuff a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
So you think you should go to jail for that?
No, because I didn't have a
Of
disease.
course, you.
I'm
That's
saying,
a
but what
completely
you're
biased
saying-
opinion,
but
though.
what you're
You
saying
can't
is
speak
the
on both
disease
sides
part-
of your mouth.
That's not a good. When
All
you
right,
just ask,
so the
Speaking
man,
on both
okay.
sides of your mouth.
let's just speak on
She
a
don't- she-
general,
okay.
regular,
No.
everyday guy, clean as a whistle, takes a condom off. Does he need to go to jail for rape?
Nah, hell no. Fuck no. Because she told him he can have sex with her. So it's
Rape
like,
does-
Does having sex with her involve possibly getting her pregnant and or giving her some kind of venereal disease?
yeah. I mean, that's the risk you
That's-
take.
I
when you-
I can't help
I-
but like
stealth.
always
I don't know
pull
about
up the double. I'm gonna be that guy. All right.
Here we go. Here we go.
just
Here we go.
It's a
the
stealth
double
thing.
standards of men who've been trapped by pregnancy, unwanted pregnancies
Mm.
by women who've broken condoms, took men to child support. There's men
Are we talking
that,
about poking holes?
yeah, poking
Okay,
holes.
right.
There's even stories of women that have sexually molested younger boys, and those boys had to pay child support because she got pregnant.
You know
These
what?
things happen, though.
That's
They
interesting.
do. But you know what? I'm gonna bring this back.
If I gotta be the devil on, devil's advocate, I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Because
I'm gonna bring this back to millennial dating though, because we kind of went off on a
This
sidebar.
is still millennial dating.
yeah, because that was a date.
That's a millennial thing.
That was a
went
date.
horribly wrong.
What?
We can go into details here. What,
let me-
Mr. Black is now tuning in again.
Let me throw something out here. So
All right.
recently there was a hashtag out there about women. They're dating. Waste his time 2016. Waste his time 2017. How do y'all feel about that? Because women love to wait. So you take them out on a date. They like, oh shit, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go on this date with this dude.
Yeah,
You know
we
she
talked
don't
about the
feel-
gentleman that was left in the movie theater after smoking the girl out in his car and taking her out to eat. I believe he took her out to eat. Posted on Twitter that she said, and I don't quote me, but basically the general synopsis of what she said via text was, hey, when I first met you, you're not exactly what I thought you would
you
look
don't
like
look
in your
like
picture. So basically she wasn't attracted to him. Waited till he booked a ticket for Star Wars Rogue One.
Something like
I guess
that.
she's not a Star Wars fan. Basically, left to the bathroom and then shortly after text him saying, "I'm not coming back."
That
She's-
shit.
That's fucked up, but women are overly entitled these days. But I'm sure there's dudes that take women on dates and they would be in a bitch and he was like, I'm going to the bathroom and do the skate off. I mean,
No lie, I did that one time. But hey,
I mean,
did it
it's
one
messed
time.
up.
No judgment here.
I look at it like this, man.
There is both sides to
But
that
wasting,
coin.
wasting somebody's time though. That's kind of like
Time you can't get back.
But
Can I get that back?
But this is when men move their chess piece now. All right. If you know this is what women are talking about in their little private, little jokey conversations, you have to make it where women can't waste your time because you move on your move. She moves to your rhythm. Period.
True.
You understand? That's why I said men gotta act like you're the prize.
All right.
Because if a woman doesn't meet your standards, men gotta raise their standards, man.
We do.
You understand? That's the problem. We lost our level of standards because we've been constantly devalued in media and propaganda, right? And women have been built up.
Yeah.
So average dude, if a woman looks half decent, he's like in.
Yeah.
And it's harder for him to really break down her character as a person. Which I always try to tell my brothers, like, yo, always look at who she is, B. Because
Be objective.
those pretty women are the most divisive. And those are the ones who can be the worst because they know they have that law of attraction on their side. But I always tell men to value themselves because at the end of the day, if you value yourself and you value your time,
Okay.
it can't be wasted. If you look at it like a commodity that is valuable, if you know this going in, you'll know how to play it. You'll know how to go to a date and go Dutch. You'll know how to ask the right questions. Because if you sit there and talk to a woman mindlessly without sticking to the script, yeah, you can have a conversation. But if you ask her key things that are important, and if she doesn't uphold to those, you need to stick to that.
So what's the return on investment? So you're saying your time value equates to basically saying your money, your time, which you traded in your time to earn that money.
Listen,
Right.
man, these women should be interviewing to get with you.
Interesting.
Period. Let's keep that 100 a buck. These women should be interviewing. You're sitting across the table at this woman. You should be interviewing her because if you know that you're a good man, what are you essentially doing? Saving her from bad men. So if she doesn't feel the value
bars.
in dealing with you as a good man,
Bars.
then let the bad men have her. Why would you waste your time? But if she can't recognize the value in you, then you have to let her know by having your standards. Say these things. Do you have children? What are your goals in life? Oh, she says, I'm just trying to have fun. Right there, red flag. Immediately. Flag on the play.
We should just have we should have higher refs
Yeah.
to go on every date. Just
Right.
throw a flag on the
15-yard
play.
penalty.
Don't say nothing, but just throw a flag on the play.
Penalty. You see what I'm saying?
On that box.
You know, what do you do on the weekends? Usually go to the club, flag on the play again. You see what I'm saying?
Up, I'm on
Like, you
Instagram.
really gotta, and stick to it, no matter how fine she is. Because a lot of these women know that they can get away with murder, and it's only because men let them do it.
Yeah.
So I don't
So
blame it on
these
the
male butlers.
yeah, simps.
I say you gotta.
You call them simps.
You gotta pick one.
I don't want to bash males too much, and I don't want to bash females too much, but there's two sides to this coin.
Well, a simp, you gotta bash them because
You gotta bash a simp.
they fuck it up for the good brothers.
They do. It's like
The male butlers,
back in the day.
butlers,
No, back in the
whatever
day they used to call
the
them
pleasers.
Pussy beggars, whatever.
Captain
you call them.
Save a Hoes. That's what they used to call them back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you gotta come on, man. Men,
So
men
so
set the
these
standard, bro.
these women, do you agree to some level? And I think we should probably really start closing on the millennial dating aspect of it, because we can talk about this forever, and we will come back to millennial dating part 2.
Right.
But as a close, should we understand that we both come in to the table here, and by table I mean to the dating circle, where we each bring some level of how we were raised, or whatever I don't want to call them problems, but whatever came with what we were raised with, whatever understanding we have. If we seek to be above that, if we seek to be better versions of ourselves, Mr. Rosewood made a very good point. Time value is important. We should understand that. We should respect that as men. And as women, I'm sure women, they see that from a different aspect, but they see the intrinsic value in time as well.
Let me say something. So this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna speak for me being young. Is that right now we live in a generation where we can do everything together and not be in a relationship. So that's why a lot of millennial datings fail, because we can do everything we want without being in a relationship.
Like I said, no accountability, no commitment. Millennials
accountability,
don't like
no-
commitment. Statistically speaking, millennials commit less to even contracts, whether it's cell phones. This is why the cell phone generation doesn't believe in
prepaid.
it's prepaid.
My shit, I don't even have a contract.
Millennials are
I can't commit to
the
Verizon.
quintessential non-committers. Millennials, the non-committers.
And that's bad for society and whole as a whole.
That's interesting.
All right, let's move on to
Because
this next
societies
one.
don't get built on that premise.
Yeah, you're right.
I hate to
doesn't
end it
progress.
like this. I hate to end it like this. I feel like this is an open-ended discussion. We'll have to touch
We'll
base
address
on
it again.
But
So-
our next topic is it's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, so Miami Nights, he told me, say what you told me that the girl told you about the women out here in San Diego.
All right, so I don't want to call it interracial dating, because we talked about millennial dating, but it's interesting how this little facet in millennial dating takes a real big topic, because race is an issue here in this country. I have an interesting take on race. I don't necessarily see it a lot of ways the way other people do. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself. I started telling Mr. Black about an interesting thing. I was on a date last night, and this young woman tells me that she felt like the flirting that occurred with me on our date, because we were preparing to do something really cool. I believe in going on a date has to feel like more than one date. I like having fun, and if she's not having fun, that's really just her problem at the end of the day. Right. But I like to make a date fun, because I consider myself a fun dude.
Yeah, make it your enjoyable time.
I hope she's having a good time. But you're a guest on my show. Yeah, you know.
So you gotta look at it, value yourself.
You know, so and that's and she noticed a lot of flirting from other women that we encountered through our date, because basically, you know, just to give you some backstory, we were preparing for a ski trip, you know, to a really nice ski lodge at the end of the month. And what we're going to do is we were basically shopping a little bit and enjoying each other's time by getting some stuff for our ski trip. And she noticed a very attractive young white woman that was at the cash register gifted me an actual item that I argued was priced incorrectly. And shortly after gifting me this item, now this never happens, okay? Now, I shouldn't say never, because obviously it happened last night. But long story short, she basically gave me a free item, okay, that I didn't have to pay for. And she noticed right away, and she shortly after getting into the car and putting our stuff away, she said, you know what? You're welcome for that, by the way. Now, by the way, I'm on a date with a young black woman, and she says to me, yeah, you're welcome for that, by the way. Now, she was obviously being facetious. At least that's what I gathered from it. She was saying that because she said that only happened because you were with me. And I said, what do you mean? Can you please explain that? She said that, and to her credit, I think this is just her view of the world in this case. Beautiful Southern California. Okay. She says that happened because white women, or rather, most races in Southern California outside of the black race, the African American race of women, seek after young black men, available black men, I should say, because they're all in this inherent competition amongst each other. And believe that, gentlemen, women. Believe it in general. I've always known that women in general are very competitive amongst each other. But she particularly said amongst white women and Asians, she's noticed, has a nice little uptick of competition for young, available black men.
She forgot about the Hispanic, the Latino.
The Hispanic and Latino. Yeah, I think she threw that in there, but what I remembered from when I was telling Mr. Black was she threw that in there, Mr. Rosewood. She threw that in there that woman gifted me that item because she wanted to openly flirt with me in front of her. And she said it happened on other occasions throughout our date.
And you didn't notice all of them?
Of course not. Because when I'm in a room, you're gonna know I'm in a room. I'm gonna interact with people like I normally interact with people. I'm myself all the time.
Facts.
So why should I care if someone's flirting with me when in my head, I'm probably flirting with them?
I think her problem was like, dang, you know, these white girls are trying to take my strong black man, you know. Sometimes the women look at it like that. I'm gonna say black women. I'm not to bash black women. Black women, some of them that I know don't like to see you date outside your race, which is crazy. I mean,
because they do it all the time.
Yeah.
When Serena Williams
do they do it all the time?
When Serena
BuzzFeed gave a little bit of history on that. I'll go into the statistics a little bit.
But it's like crazy, you know. I'm like, I feel like I'm human. I don't see no color. Race is human. That's the only race it is. There's no black.
What's
white.
that, Tommy Lauren?
Yeah,
What'd you say? You don't see color?
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. Nah, but anyways, I mean, like, I feel like we live in a free country. You can love who you want to love, like who you want to like. You know, you got your own preferences. Like, you know, to be honest, this might sound weird. I mean, it is. I don't care. I haven't dated a black girl in like pretty much like 5 years. I talk to black girls, but like, you know what I'm saying? I talk to them out, you know. I have no problem with black women, and that's what a lot of black women think, like, oh, you don't talk to no black girls. I see you talking to Mexican girls, white girls, you know, Asian. I'm like, what does a race have to do with anything? You know? It has
Just
nothing
like
to-
women.
Huh?
You just like
I just like women, you know.
Have you overlooked black women for other races of women?
Never.
If you see a black woman that's on point, you all game.
I would go up and talk to her.
Facts,
But
right?
at the same time, it's like I said, this millennial shit. You know, like I'm trying to talk to a black woman. She like, yeah, you know, what you got, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but
Well,
black men
yeah,
are
yeah,
usually
yeah, yeah,
associated with white women who are typically overweight.
Ooh,
Have you noticed that?
that's African people. I'm not to be racist.
No.
I always see that. I always see
African
that.
American men as well.
But I don't talk to no overweight women. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong.
No.
with
I'm not
Thick
saying. I'm
women,
saying.
but-
I'm saying the stereotypes that come with that.
Yeah. But no, let me finish.
Let me ask you a question to
Go ahead.
help you segue. So what are you saying? You saying that you have there's certain little idiosyncrasies that black women do that you notice that other women don't?
Nah, I mean, a woman is woman. They can be crazy as fuck regardless of what race they are. I figured this out, you know.
Right.
Because I dated an Asian chick who's crazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I dated a Mexican chick, crazy as fuck. It is what it is. But what I'm saying is like, the women that I try to talk to, the black women, they're like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you're cool and all that, but you know, I kind of wish you was light skinned, 6'5", with dreads and tattoos and sell. You know what I'm saying? I'm like. I ain't
The herd
6'5".
mentality.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. I'm like, I wish I was 6'5", but I'm 5'8". I got
They would say that
tattoos.
shit to you?
Yeah, this one girl, she's like, oh, you're not tall enough and you don't have tattoos and you're not a drug dealer. I'm like, what the fuck?
Get the fuck out.
Okay, come on. All right,
Bruh,
there.
I cannot make this shit up. It was maybe it's the type of woman I was talking to at the time, but
Well, even women within or outside the race have a racial preference. If you
yeah, people have racial
statistically, they've shown that, well, at least BuzzFeed has presented that through online dating, they see the statistic grow more and more.
Yeah.
And amongst black women happen to be on the lowest totem pole for statistical preference.
That's because
On dating sites too.
Yeah, because we're trying to branch out.
Do you
black
think?
men,
Do you
I'm saying.
think that had anything to do with what she told me?
I think it's this. I think black women have been bashing black men in mainstream media for so long that other races of women is like, well, let's scoop them up.
I blame.
Well, let's
Tyler
talk
Perry.
about these statistics.
I hate that nigga Tyler Perry, to be honest.
And then black women are the most unmarried group. You understand?
Let's talk about those statistics. Number one, men replied most to Asian women except for Asian men, who replied most to Latin women.
Yo, I love an Asian woman.
White women were twice as likely to respond to white men as to black men.
Really?
And Middle Eastern women were far and away the most popular group, with 1 in 2 men writing back to them.
So that's what I need to hit on. No, I remember that.
Tinder.
Fun fact.
Fun fact: hit the Indian women. They're
Little
ready.
FF for you right there.
Like I'm saying, like I don't really see nothing wrong with interracial dating at all. I mean, it is what it is. You know, if you're attracted to somebody, you're attracted to somebody.
But
regardless
just
of
going off what you said, though, this is my own personal analysis. I don't care if you say wells, you bugging, whatever. I feel like other races of women pursue the good men of their race,
yeah,
and I feel like black women pursue the dregs. They, let you be a good guy. They're all on the fence, but let you be a nigga fresh out of jail.
yeah.
She's fucking she's doing everything. It's like, why are black women, not all, I don't know why I keep saying that,
It's not all.
seem like they're so subconsciously, I mean, hip-hop has a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
Women are kind of herd creatures as far as what's on the media mainstream is what they kind of all act like. You know what I mean? It's rare to find a woman that's really like outside the box completely, or she's pretending to be that way. But I noticed that whatever's the mainstream, women tend to find that attractive men, But especially things connected to our culture of black people, you notice those are the men that are put up on the pedestal through the music.
Oh yeah.
The street guys, the sports guys, the tattoo guys, and these thug dudes, they never have no shortage of women.
Yeah, but what are we really personifying at that point?
We're personifying destruction, death. Those are men that are ruining the community, and the women are rewarding those men with commitment and children, while other races of women reward the upstanding stand-up dudes of their culture. Indian women, you could find you ever go to Little Tokyo or Koreatown?
Yeah.
And you see the baddest, whatever, Asian, Arab, white woman.
Little Asian goddess.
With the nerdiest looking fucking Asian dude. You understand? The dude,
So she is She is. So we have a situation where the math don't add up.
The math don't add up. I feel like the women are pursuing these men because I'm about to preach.
Go ahead.
All right, the women that feel the idea of the alpha male has been skewered to where the men who are not building, the men who are causing the havoc, the men who are a disservice to the black community are the men who are getting rewarded by the women as the alpha males. But the men who are the true builders, the workers, the thinkers, the creators, the men who have upstanding, respectable positions as men are the men who are looked at as lame, corny, because you don't talk in a lot of slang, or you speak properly, or you're not inked up to because you're a professional man. You know what I'm saying? That's not attractive. Now, it comes to the point, as black men who don't feel they fit that criteria, is it a point when you say, well, time for me to save myself, because if these women don't appreciate me for doing all the right things, let me go where I'm appreciated, right? But when black women do it, and they've been doing it for a long time,
they've been doing.
You can look back and you can look back at old Jet magazines from the 50s upheralding black women. The only reason they legalized it is because of black women and white men. At that same time when that was legalized, black men were getting lynched, castrated, set on fire for even winking at white women. But it was legalized for the sake of a black woman and a white man. You see what I'm saying? So when does a black man draw the line? When does a black man say, well, I want to be happy, I want to do the right thing, I want to be rewarded for being a man that's done the right thing, who's went out and worked for mine, stayed on point, stayed out of jail, didn't have a bunch of kids out of wedlock, educated myself, have respect for people. But these women, even the most beautiful women in our culture, gravitate towards the men who've done none of those things. So, and this is a majority. So if you're going to roll the dice with that majority, knowing that even if you're a good dude and she takes a break with the bad boys to fuck with you, then another dude comes along and she's attracted to him because he's got a tattoo under his eye. When do you say, I want to deal with the women who respect the good men and the builders of their race?
But it's like what I said earlier. The women are more attracted to men they can least control, rather the non-butlers.
Women are attracted to I think black women, because they've been masculine, they've been bred to be more masculine. They're attracted to the men they can dominate. They're attracted to the simps. They're attracted to the weak men. Because they've been told that they can run the household. They can taught that they can make all the money and they can raise the kids by themselves.
So you're telling me she is going to remain with that man even if she's too sure of you, despite the fact that she could be with someone that she's actually more attracted to? Does that make sense?
Clear that up for me.
So, as I stated before, I said if a woman is too sure of you, if she thinks she can walk all over you, and you're saying, i.e. black women, her attraction level, in theory, at least in mine, should drop.
This is logical.
So,
but now what I'm saying with these women who we deal with a culture of a lot of men who are emasculated, right? We have a culture of men who are raised by women. Okay, they go out.
Media is showing that today.
Yeah, but
you go to a movie
but
now.
But I'm saying, a lot of us survived it. A lot of us did.
Interesting. Okay,
all right,
good.
Fatherlessness is a problem. So in our community, we have a lot of men who are raised by women. There's a certain dynamic where you're kind of put out in the world deficient. There's a whole aspect of a father that men have. If they grow up with their father, they have a certain demeanor. And then men that don't grow out without their father, they have to go out and find that essence. And it may take a little longer. You may have to do a little more to pull your manhood out of the ethers.
I got a question for you guys. So, have you guys ever dated outside of your race?
I kind of sort of did, but I never even
looked at it
like that. But then once I kind of woke up to things a little more.
Was it awkward for you? Like, so?
I mean, I've never done it. This is my first time. I've only dealt with black women, right?
Okay.
But I didn't have the knowledge that I know now, the information, the facts that I know now. And now I look at it as to, being the type of man. I had a lot of dudes tell me like, "Yo, you too good to them. You too good with God." You know what I mean? And you probably heard that shit. Women say, "Oh, you too good," or "You too nice," or "You too this."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Therefore, they're not as attracted to you. So, translation, going back to the quote, they're too sure of you.
They're too sure of you, or But what if that's your essence with everybody?
Hey, Miami Nights.
But it's basically like you basically going back to that old wise tale that the nice guys finish last theory.
Let me ask you a question on Miami Nights. So,
as far as my back, I didn't answer your question.
Yeah, it's interracial. Like, I have a new question for you.
Because I have 2 questions to answer. Okay, what's the second?
Questions. The second one is, have you gotten looks by other people like, oh, why are you with her? Because I seen a little meme the other day. Like it was funny to me. It said, "Oh, they go Chris over there fucking with them white girls. That's why he got hit by that bus." Like, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I said,
the internet doesn't lose.
Yeah, the internet does not lose. You can date whoever you want to date, regardless. Women, regardless. I'm gonna put this out here because I feel like we kind of been bashing black women, but at the same time,
what this is about.
It's not about bashing. It's not bashing. We speak in facts, but at the same time, a woman is a woman. Regardless,
beneath it all,
they all can be crazy as fuck.
Said it best, right?
Yeah, they can be crazy as fuck. They can be submissive. They can be, left wing, right wing, whatever you want to call it. But have you gotten weird looks from, like, white women when you're with a white girl and vice versa?
Okay. Your first question is, have I dated outside of my race? Well, I have dated outside of my race more times than I've dated within my race. I've been told in some circles that I have a nickname for that.
White girl whisperer.
Okay, let's not do that. That's
what was it?
That you just said.
White girl whisperer.
Oh, that's real?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you were joking.
No, he's not joking. He's not joking. He's not joking.
So let me ask you this: is there a preference, or is it that?
I'll give you.
I think that I think a lot of it is. When I talk to a lot of brothers, who are in essence black men. In core, in belief, in understanding of their roots and who they are as a man. At the end of the day, what they say about women of other cultures is that they're more feminine, more womanly, more understanding of you being a black man that isn't, everybody's not a fucking street dude. You understand? And we just got to come to the fact, and it's almost like there's something they call an 80-20 rule. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Where they said that 80% of the women gravitate towards 20% of the men.
Okay.
That's why certain men you see in our community might have 6 kids.
Yeah.
Call that the 3% man theory.
I call that not pull out.
Man, I heard that one too. Yeah. No, I'm talking about these that ain't, but those are a certain type of dude.
Yeah.
You understand? You gotta be a certain type of man to have 6, 7 children with different women. You have to look at life a certain way. Like you gotta be kind of detached. You know what I mean?
Out there.
So I would consider these men not to be the top tier men. They can't be. Because what can you accomplish if that's your goal in life, to impregnate women? That's just going to keep you in a hole. True. So these men aren't looking to build anything. True. So if these women are all gravitated to these men, what does that say about these women? Are they trying to build a community? Do they give a fuck about building a community? Because at the end of the day, when men are trying to give women correction through tough love and speak truth, they hate you for doing it. So who's really the ones that's not, because if like I said, if a man goes out and does all the right moves, goes to college, get educated, whatever, go through the military, build up your career through that way, get stable, blah, blah, blah. But the moment these women were giving you the hard time, but then the Asian woman appreciates you for being the good man that you are, now you're wrong. You understand? But then when Serena Williams goes out and marries the dude, oh, girl, go ahead. And then you wonder why shows like Scandal been on for 10 years. Is there some innate thing? Because, let's keep it real. Women are attracted to power.
Yeah.
Not race or region.
You're right.
Once you get that out your head, you can kind of understand a lot of things. When the Nazis invaded France, a lot of the women were sleeping with the Nazis because the men were dominated by them. So if the black men, i.e. us here, been dominated for the last 500 years, would it be safe to say that these women have watched us be dominated by them? And now, being creatures of nature, they're attracted to the dominant male, which is the white man. Deep down. So if there's an innate something in there that they're not putting out there in mainstream media and not talking about, because they celebrate this shit, but at the same time, the men that they didn't want, the good guys, they don't want you to go to the white girl, the Asian girl, because when they're done with the thugs, Who they want to come clean up the
where's
mess?
all the good man at? Like, don't nobody want.
Who they want to come clean up the
Are
bullshit?
we referring to black women now?
No,
We just talking about women.
Just women in general. That's
we talking about black women. Then we could go there.
Yeah,
There you go.
okay,
Yeah,
see,
Because we're black
see.
men and we have to address it because
There you go.
at the end of the day, black men have to speak because it can help a brother in the hood that don't know, that doesn't understand these certain dynamics because they're important. If you go through it, you got to look at it. It's right in front of your face. So if these men are considered non-select in their building stage, only when you reach the point when you're successful, that's when they come chasing you, right? But all the street dudes get all the access early, right? The low moral character motherfuckers get all the access early and have their way with these women. And then when they run through kids, all that shit, the good guy is the one that gets to raise the kids, that gets to come and be Mr. Cleanup Man. And I feel like that's unfair because they get mad because you're not waiting in the warm-up mound to get called on the field when they're ready for you. You went out and decided to go be happy right now with that Asian woman that appreciates you to be a good man, that white girl that appreciates you being a good man that you are. And she doesn't care that you're not a street dude, never been in jail, because their culture is not raising women to be attracted to that. You understand? They're raised to deal with the good men of their race because those are the men that build. Period. So if we go into understand that, I can understand why men say, you know what? A black man says, you know what? This woman treats me better than any other woman I dealt with. She respects me for who I am. She's gracious. She's womanly, feminine. You know, I get the respect from her. I'm not looked at as her second choice, her third choice.
I'm not an option.
You're not an option. You are the option. You understand? So if that's the case, then black men deserve to go out and be happy. Why do we have to be the ones that don't get to be happy? We can't. I know a lot of good brothers that would love to have 4 or 5 children, but don't. But it seems like a lot of the women, judging by the stats, they're having their kids. How do black women have more kids than black men? Think about it. So if you really understand, there's a certain type of men that are breeding with these women, and they're chasing these men. So if we got to look at it from that perspective, then a black man who wants to be happy and start his family and build his legacy, and you creating your Stargate, you know, where your kids come from the other world. If your Stargate seems to be corrupted or has a glitch where they don't respect the good men who are the fathers and are the husbands because they want to be single mothers and they don't care about having men in the house, then why wouldn't those men of that quality go to the women that actually respect that?
So I'm gonna break down something for you. Since I've seen Asia. You know, I was living in Japan for like 2 years, and you know, like I said, I dated Mexican girls. So what I noticed about the Asian women is that the man is first. They would take care of the man. They would take care of the house. They do all that, you know. And a lot of black guys like that. I mean, I heard back in the day that, you know, black women used to be like that. Now it's that they have this strong movement like, hey, you know, I'm a strong, independent black woman. I don't need you. But over there, you got women who's like, okay, I need you, and I want to help you. I want to help you build up what we're making. Latina women, you know, they all about family and their man. You know, they're right there, regardless. There's some black women like that too, but then, like you said, there's a lot of women who are on the strong feminist movement.
Who adopted that.
Yeah, who adopted this. Like, hey, fuck that. I'm running the house. I don't need you, and this is what I want. And like you said, we're not gonna sit around and sit there and like, hey, we want to stay with, you know, within our race because, you know, they're strong, but you know they shit on us all day. So we're like, okay, I'm gonna move on. Like you said, we're moving on.
You're still gonna get older.
You still gonna.
Time is not gonna freeze.
There you go.
If you're gonna go be happy, you gotta find your Stargate.
Yeah.
So that your legacy can come through.
Can't get that time back, huh?
You can't get it back. So if you're gonna wait on the woman that wants you to wait till she's 38 to settle down because she's too busy being a strong black independent woman trying to compete with white culture so that she can be on the same level as her ideal man. You understand? Then why don't even wait for her? Why you gonna play yourself? If you getting older, you want to deal with the women who want to be mothers, who want to be wives, who want to bring your child through. Your seed is a black child. Period. Don't get that Hotep shit in your head where you need a black woman to give a black child. No, you don't. So at the end of the day, if you're going to bring your seed through this earth and you're going to raise your kids, if that is a woman of another race and she has the qualities of a wife and a mother, do not let these motherfuckers make you feel like you can't go there. This is your life. When you're gone, you're gone. You understand? It ain't got nothing to do with how you felt like what you was contributing to the community by dealing with the woman that looked like you. First of all, and I'm not saying you got to go get a white woman or Asian woman. There are black women of all types all over the world. South America, Brazil, Africa.
East,
We're talking about westernized, feminized black women.
Got you.
That adopt that whole chemistry of what he just said. You don't have to settle for that because the world is bigger than all of that. You can go all the way down South America through Cuba, where a lot of black people are. They have a whole different culture over there. You can go there. You go to Africa, Ghana, Gambia. Come on.
Southeast.
You don't have to. It doesn't. See, don't let them shame you and feel like because you don't want an American black woman that you don't like black women.
Yeah.
They might be your first choice. But you have to look at it with a man with resources and means that you don't have to settle for this country to find a black woman.
True.
You don't. What I'm saying doesn't mean that I hate black women. I hate the culture that they have taken.
Yeah.
The culture that destroys families, that has destroyed the black family. So at this point, do you sit there and argue and cry about it? Or you be proactive and say, let me go where the women want me.
You know what? I'm gonna say this as a black man. Some of us, like you said, there's a lot of ain't shit dudes. Some of us need to step it up too. I mean,
that's a fact.
We need to step it up. At the same time, you know, yeah, there's women who go for that shit. But if you show a woman who goes for these thugs, and you're like, yo, that's not what you need in your life, they will come too. If that's what we need to do. Sometimes, I ain't saying all the time, but sometimes you could try. Like what Dr. Dre said, you can't change a hoe into a housewife.
Yeah,
not exactly the rhetoric. That's not exactly a rhetoric.
Till their baby daddy get out of jail, then she's gone.
It's not exactly a rhetoric that everyone can relate to, though.
But on a lighter note, man, let's switch the subject.
Shit got real.
Shit got real. Shit got real, man. And we're gonna kind of wrap this up a little bit with our last one. It's a little funny, you know. Have you ever been stood up before?
I think the gentleman I brought up got stood up, but halfway stood up.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I've been
halfway in, halfway out.
I've been stood up before, and it's funny. Like, you know, I think like, hey, if you're gonna stand me,
let's talk about the real topic. Let me insecurities we get stood up.
So you like when you get stood up, you think like, yo, what did I do? Why am I?
Why did you immediately blame yourself?
Huh? This is the first date.
Yeah, first date, or it don't even matter. It's like dates, regardless. Like even if you've been on this person before, you know.
Seems like we never really left the first topic.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though? Out here in San Diego, I'm not gonna lie, you would get numbers, right? And these women like, yeah, text me. But then they say they're bad texters. I don't believe there's bad texters.
Nah, it's bullshit. If women don't want to talk to me, I'm not wasting my time.
Yes, I'm like, don't give me your fucking number. Like, what's the fucking point?
Why would you chase after a woman that doesn't want to give you her time as much?
That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, if I text you,
value yourself. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. If I text you like, hey, good morning, you know, how's your day? You know, and you don't text me back, and then like you see me, you know, doing something else, and you like, hey, big head, hey, stranger, like, fuck you, bitch, get the fuck out of here. You know, I'm not about to deal with you. Like, I hate that shit. And then the thing with getting stood up is like, you know, you set something up for a woman. You know, some dudes go out of their way to set up a date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some dudes take off work. Some dudes do this. Some dudes do that. And then
I've done it.
And then for them just to shit on you, like, yeah, you know.
But that's entitlement, man.
No, but let me just say this to it. Let me just say, to your point, a woman has a higher level of attraction to a man she can have fun with, and that can basically make her feel comfortable. See, that means the man's taking the lead. Mm-hmm. If you are being too serious with her from the start, like you start treating her like a girlfriend, or you start making this more about you and projecting your own fantasies about her,
bad movie.
Tends to go south. You know, basically just worry about having fun. Don't put labels, date. Don't worry about a relationship, just date her and have fun. Me, I let her decide if she wants to be a boy into anything exclusive. And it's usually the case for me. They're usually the ones that bring it up. Then we'll address it. If I like her and I don't necessarily feel like I'm wasting my time with her, maybe I'll engage in a conversation. But if I make it very clear to the utmost, I think it's fair that we shouldn't waste our time, but at the same time, some women we meet are just for fun.
I don't know,
That's
man.
game. That's true game.
When I get stood up, I start thinking like, yo, what the fuck? What did I
Happens to
do?
the best of us, yeah.
What did I do?
But don't get it wrong. Don't.
I not
No, it's
tall
not.
enough?
No,
Am I
women
not six
test
tall
you.
enough?
You were being tested. I believe you were being tested, and here's why.
Yeah.
Because you may be engaging your emotions too fast. You know, even for her, by her standards. Now, we don't speak for every woman, but we can say some women are more fast than others, or some take a slower pace because they feel like they have something, you know, of value. Whether it's the, whether she basically thinks she fully has you under her, you know, control, so to speak. Basically, she has you doing whatever she basically wants. Mm-hmm. It's up to you whether or not you're going to conform for that. We're always negotiating for our time. Think about it. It's basically a signal to her to back away and just test you.
It is what it is, man. It's like, it's how I feel about it. I'm like, yo, if you gonna stand me up, I mean, I'd rather you just tell me than have me looking stupid.
But we've trained our women not to do that because we've trained our women not to be
that.
because there are men out there that can't handle the truth. I would applaud a woman who's just upfront and straightforward.
I feel like
I would applaud that.
You're a real woman if you're gonna tell me, hey, yeah, we can't hang out. But at the same time,
why? Because I'm not attracted to you, or because I'm not.
I don't feel it.
I don't think this is going.
But at the same time, this is my young mind speaking. I always have a plan B.
But you have to admit, men are just as emotional.
We are. I was mad as fuck. I was mad as fuck.
But why were you mad? What's the insecurity behind it?
The time that I got stood up, because I mean, like,
what's the insecurity behind it? What immediately grew out of you, or what did it trigger? Rather,
I was like, damn. I mean, why she give me her number? What was the point of her giving me her number? That's my insecurity. Like,
so you don't believe that was a test?
What are you trying to get out of me? Like,
I think she was testing you.
Testing me for what?
Listen. Again, on the wasting time thing, you gotta set it up where your time can't be wasted.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take no woman's number, dog. Ever.
Give them your number.
Give them your number. 50% there if she calls.
I have to say, I don't fully agree with that. The way I do it,
depending on your initial meeting.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
If you reach to a point where the rapport is so great that you know in your soul that this is good, yeah. But if it's one of those quick da-da-da-da-da's, give her your number, G. You understand? Because at the end of the day, could be a moment. These women got a lot of attention coming at them all times. Again, we got to keep this in mind. They got Instagram, Facebook, all the shit, Tinder. They got motherfuckers hitting them all day.
True.
So if she finds you special and all that muck and mire, and she can still find to call you, then you know you in a good position.
Well, I there's a training tactic to that. If I introduce myself, if I ask her for her name and she tells me her name, and I notice she doesn't ask me for mine, I immediately know I'm not going to waste my time any further with this woman because her level of attraction for me is not showing up right away. She's doing hello. That's a basic hello.
That's good.
Just on a play-by-play.
I never thought of that either.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Nigga, Miami Nights.
That was a good one. I just was like, yeah, I didn't even pay attention to that.
Again, we as men are visual creatures. We have to accept the fact that when we tend to be visual creatures, we get distracted and we tend to fantasize or impose our own fantasies on women we barely know.
Facts.
True.
You know, and at the same time, we go astray and we tend to forget that we do have to take our time because women love a lot slower than we do.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, it's true.
Well, it doesn't have to be true. It's just from my experience.
I wouldn't say slower.
I think they love slower.
I say that women love differently than men.
Okay.
And that's kind of what you said. But I think it's kind of like this. Men love women for being women, right? Women don't love men the way we love them. They love us kind of like for what we are, what we do.
Respect the fact that we're being tested.
Yeah, like say a man loves a woman like a guy that's a car enthusiast, loves cars, right?
Men with passion. Women are attracted to men with passion. I agree.
You love building the car. You can look at the car when it's rusty shambles, and you can build it into something beautiful, right? Women look at men when we talking about cars like, if the car don't work, I don't want the car no more. If the car don't drive, fuck this car. If the car's working fine, I love it. But let it break down, fuck this car. A man is going to go get under the hood, fix his car. He's going to go out. What's wrong? I don't hate the car. That's why I said a man will take a junk car and build it up until it's a prize automobile. That's the passion men have for women. Women aren't designed to love men that way. They love men kind of like utilities.
Well, they want the man to lead, don't they?
Yeah, but they want the man based on what he can do. Now, when you realize that, right, that's better for you to know as a man because you won't set yourself up. for a fantasy of love that you're not going to get, because your level of love is way deeper than hers.
Oh, that's the alpha male and beta male concept.
No, it's just love. We're just talking about love on the base of how men love when they are in love is deeper. Romantic love has been sold to men because that's what drives us towards this chemical induced love feeling that we get. Romance is what takes you over the top to pursue it. So women are the recipients of romantic love, but women don't see romantic love towards you the way that you see it towards her, if that makes sense. So what you got to understand, doesn't mean women don't love men. They just don't love you as deep as a man's love. A man's love is poetic. It's poetry. You understand? Shakespeare. You understand? You don't see that from women. But you understand that men love women like you love art. You love a painting. You love whatever you love. You know what I mean? If you love to draw, you love to sing, you love to compose music, you love to sculpt, you love to whatever a man can love, study. You love women like that, like an asset, an aspect of something in life that should be giving your energy. You understand? For it to be something. That's how men approach women. That's why men pursue women. Obviously, you can look at it on just, let's just brush away all the leaves and look at the just concrete. If women love men as much as men love women, why do men pursue women and women don't pursue men like that?
You know what?
I don't think a woman would teach a man how to be a man.
No,
that's off the subject.
I knew women,
but I mean,
but let me tell you something. I knew women.
Think about it. Is it a man? Is it a man's
women,
job?
Men love women. The hard truth is, men love women more than women love men.
Let me tell you something.
I just think women make it easier for you if they're attracted to you.
Let me say something. When I was overseas, women would have approached me. They would chase me.
It's more patriarchal over there.
It is, and I like the fact that I was like, oh, this is cool.
Because men are valued differently. Yeah. Over here, men are looked at as the problem. You understand? So women don't value men in essence like that.
Or rather, they have this a false sense of maybe entitlement to some extent. Hubris. Yeah. Okay, I will agree.
So,
but is that all women here, or we're just not attracted to the women? Well, like attracts like, gentlemen. So, are we attracted to those women? Are we projecting something within ourselves to be attracted to women that we don't need to be wasting time with?
As a good man,
we're visual creatures now.
We are visual creatures, and we are subject to
meeting women who, right.
But I feel like it comes a time and point after how many years this going on that men look at it as if you're a good man, and if you been getting all these love TKOs all your life and you're starting to figure out why a woman hasn't 100% cooperated with you, you can't keep blaming yourself if you've been the same good man you've been all the time. You understand? You can't keep blaming yourself. You can't keep letting society give you this cloud that something's wrong with you because women are kind of spoiled. You understand? You got to look at it for what it is. If you've been a good man your whole life, you've done the right moves, and all you getting is ups and downs. You never got what other race of men get from their women. And you're like, why the fuck? What is it? As much as we're demonized as black men, period. You understand? But you play the right role. You treat all your women a certain way. And I can tell by how you talk. I know you're not an asshole. I know you're a good man.
There's no reason.
The way you talk. So I can tell just by your energy that I know that you come to women with this same approach to life. It ain't about men, women, and dating. It's about life, people, humans.
Right.
So you go into women with the same energy. And if you keep getting the shit end of the stick, then you have to look at it from an A and B standpoint. Okay, is it me? If you're fishing in a pond and there's no fish, or the fish are polluted, and you keep pulling out rotten fish, who do you blame? The fisherman or the fucking pond?
You blame the fish.
At some point, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
You know, next bus every 15 minutes. I believe in every relationship you get into, it's an opportunity to grow. Right? And I don't go into any kind of relationship that I'm actually trying to be serious with to take.
Me neither.
This whole
I actually like to give.
Right.
This whole thing, I like to give too. But this is why I ain't been in no relationship in the past like 2-3 years.
I mean,
it's cool with me.
It's cool. I mean, men should be good with themselves, period. Men should be good with chasing their passions, being the best young man you could be, learning, educating yourself, your brotherhood with your brothers, the things that matter with your immediate family, your mother, your father, all of this shit.
It's blood.
You should be good with that. Don't listen to the rhetoric like, you don't got a woman, you ain't no real man. That's bullshit. You understand? You don't, and it don't make you gay. Don't let motherfuckers shame you because you feel good in your manhood in solitude and you're at peace with that. That's a beautiful thing. You understand?
Learn to be alone. Huh?
Learn to be alone. You don't need a woman to validate you as a man. That don't make no sense.
Same goes for women.
True.
Women don't need it, but women
Don't like being alone. Yes.
Women are
Agree.
more susceptible to destroying themselves if they don't have a man to kind of guide them.
Statistically speaking, men are more destructive when it comes to failed relationships.
After or during?
After.
I'm talking about what a man brings to a woman.
Oh, what a man brings to a woman. Right.
You understand?
Right.
What a woman brings to a man is more tangible, like children, a companion, somewhat. You know what I mean? But what
For the right kind of companionship.
right? But what a man brings to a woman is like a universe of protection, knowledge, wisdom, love. These things that women are essentially, if left unguarded, are susceptible to a lot of shit.
Oh, so that's what you meant by they identify themselves in the relationship, through the relationship?
They have to. Because the man brings that. A man, like I said, what did I say? A man is the closest denomination of the creator we have walking. A good man, a righteous man, right?
But what if she's from the Garden of Eden?
We're not talking about that.
Okay.
Right? And the woman from the Garden of Eden, she wasn't a good woman anyway. So let's keep that real. So now, if you are that, then understand that is what you're bringing to her. You understand? So, and that's just so, and I don't be saying, and I'm not on some bashing, I'm really about making men feel that power in themselves, that value, because we don't get it from nowhere. You understand? And when you believe it and you walk out into the world with that understanding, you realize, like, yeah, I shouldn't have to sit there and text these girls all day. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to be the first one, hey, good morning. No, you're the prize. You understand? So at the end of the day, that's what you bring to a woman. When your head's on straight and you are a relationship dude, you are a commitment, a monogamous type man, a family man, a husband type man. You got everything, and you're a builder, a thinker. You got you got your mind on right, your money right, you moving in the right direction. You everything a woman should want. So if they don't see that in you, bruh,
then they're not worth being.
You gotta give it to them. I don't give a fuck. She look like Beyonce squared. It don't matter. It don't. You gotta let it be, because at the end of the day, like I said, time is not kind to women. You at 35 and a woman at 35 are two different 35s.
Interesting.
So you have to value yourself in that, just on just in general. So once you look at it like that, you kind of say, like, yeah, what am I tripping about? If she don't see what she has, that's her fault. Because I don't know too many women that I've dated that didn't take the chance I was giving them. You're giving her the chance to save her from single motherhood or abusive relationships. All that shit that's prevalent. It exists. Most of the women I dealt with that didn't go the whole route, they're all single mothers now. None of them are married. You understand? I gave them the way out. I was their path to the other side of life. You didn't take it.
Is the grass greener?
I mean, being a single mother or being with a man who wants to be a husband, what's your choice?
I don't know.
You want to roll the dice on single motherhood?
Hey.
That's what you want to do, ladies? You want to roll the dice and crap out? Because at the end of the day, black women have a better chance being single mothers than being wives. Sadly. So if the men that want to be husbands aren't being chosen, when do you cut the debt, bro? Step away from the table. We're talking about Americanized, westernized, ran by white supremacy black women, program brainwashed black women, weave wearing, dead hair on their head wearing. You understand? You know these people are cutting hair off dead bodies and putting it in bags and selling it. They're putting this energy. You know how important your hair is to you on an esoteric level?
It's part of you.
People cut their hair off, you burn it. If you got dreads, you're supposed to burn it so nobody can take it. Voodoo rituals, piece of hair, that's important. These women are taking the dead hair from another person, putting it on their head, and you wonder why a lot of black women are like psychotic almost. You're rooting that to your brain. So these are the women that hate themselves enough to wear another race's woman's hair on their head. You understand? How can that person love you?
Shout out to Chris Rock for putting that out there.
When you are the representation of everything she hates about herself. You understand? Because you don't see black men doing that. Black men are happy being black men. These women don't even they lighten their skin. They wear this hair. They change their eye color. They don't like being black. So if you look at it like that, no other race of women do that shit. But why do they hate their own men so much? Of course you're gonna hate them, because you hate yourself.
Yeah, we gotta reel it back in, man. We gotta reel it back in.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. We went on the sideboard. That's cool. I think we should wrap it up right here. Yeah, I know. Hey, it was a good first pilot, man. We got a lot.
This is our pilot.
Yeah, this was a beautiful show. I would love to be on more episodes. I love,
Clap it up for Mr. Rosewood.
Great show. I really like where you guys are going.
Yep.
You definitely got
do you
an
want
idea.
to put out your stuff again where they can follow you?
Yeah, I'm not really much social media right now, but when it is up, it's Rosewood _ on everything. My podcast is on YouTube. I have 2 so far, but
very good, by the way.
Yeah, I have 2. And they're called the Truth to Power Show, and 1 episode on the breakup of the black family, and I have another one on the culture of addiction in the black community. So these are things I was talking about. But I really love Locker Room Talk, man. This is a good thing, man. Keep building on it. I'm pretty sure once you guys find the outlets, go ahead and get your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Call it Locker Room Talk.
Little by little.
Start uploading. Use your iMovie to edit these in.
We could be on it, man.
All that.
All that. You'd be good.
And from my social media, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Yacht Club _black. And you can follow me on Snapchat. It's just black310. That's where I'll mostly be posting stuff. Facebook, I ain't giving it out. But yeah,
trouble.
Yeah, Miami Nights.
It's real simple. It's just Miami Nights on IG. We'll explore other areas later on. I don't need too many friends. I got great friends I'm sitting with right here, but I love to make new ones, just the right ones. All right, so that's Miami Nights, MIAMINIGHTZ. All right, just in case that gets a little confusing. Apparently IG makes that really hard. But let's just start off with IG.
Yeah.
Man of mystery over here.
Yeah.
All
So
right?
Happy New Year to everybody that's going to be hearing this.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you for stopping by and taking the time out to listen, and we'll be back with more content.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. But I do got one more wrench to throw in there. The Seahawks just got beat by the Falcons.
I'm done.
20-36.
There's no need for all that.
I'm just saying, Patriots playing today. That's my team. So, we out. We out.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care.